Hello and welcome to Queuing for Steam, the show where I take a look at what's on Steam's discovery queue. Okay, let's take a look today. Alright, first up is Grim Dawn. Inter-apocalyptic fantasy world where humanity is on the brink of extinction. Iron is valued above gold and trust is hard-earned. This ARPG features complex character development, hundreds of unique items, crafting and quests with choice and consequence. Very positive. There's currently nearly 2,000 reviews, of which 93%. Um, okay, those in game. It looks like a isometric Diablo-esque, like I mentioned, adventure RPG with a very Van Helsing type of character. Yeah, there's loot drops stuff. Has a nice dark and realistic aesthetic, quite like Diablo in a way. Um, that's a complex looking taskbar or HUD. Yeah, I'd say it looks like a very interesting Diablo-esque type of dark fantasy role-playing game. It is early access though, however, and as such, I actually haven't heard much about this. When that first popped up, I actually thought this might be the Fantastic Adventures of Van Helsing, because there's at least two games in that series. And they are a similar premise of a isometric adventure RPG in like a Diablo-esque kind of style. Yeah, Diablo 3. Yeah, it's up to between this and Torchlight. Torchlight probably has a better thing because it has an expanded mod community, whereas this is early access, and I don't think, or I wonder how easy it might be developed for. I mean, if it'll receive a workshop community, or even just a Steam Workshop Awards for its actual game. Great Entertainment, what have they made? Grim Dawn's the only thing they've made. Alright. I'm not too sure. Early access is a big trouble. It looks promising, but I'm probably going to wait till I hear more about it. Next. Ooh, okay, Styx Master Shadows. Like, it's a goblin game, isn't it? Yeah. Styx Master Shadows, an infiltration game with RPG elements taking place in Dark Fantasy Universe, another one, where you sneak, steal, and assassinate your way through as Styx, a goblin 2 centuries of age. So, 2 centuries, 20-year-old goblin, just say. Very positive, 85% of nearly 1,000 reviews. If any of this is gameplay, I don't think that is. It's bullshot. It's potentially bullshot. It's there as well. And as well as bullshots. I don't think. Wow, there looks like, unless it literally is a HUDless game, there is no actual gameplay pictures within these screenshots. So is it third person or first person or what? Because there are other stealth games out there. $30. I forgot to actually look at previous game price, but negative reviews, and then it boils to the top. Okay, I'm going to have to actually watch a video to see what in-game might look like. So if it even has any in-game within this video. Alright, come on.
Peggy 16.
Shut up. Pre-rendered nonsense. Come on, that's actual gameplay. No, more pre-rendered. Come on. Come on, gameplay. Nope, nope, nope. So what does the actual gameplay look like, for crying out loud? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Literally don't tell me anything about what your game is. Okay, no. You're trying to hide and obfuscate what the game looks like. It is only very positive, although it's on sale. It's usually $30. I don't think I would be very interested in this. I haven't heard much about this at all either. That's Splinter Cell. So no one tells me what this game is. It doesn't even state there, so nope, can't recommend it. Saints Row 4? Yeah, 4. The US presidents must save the Earth from the alien overlord Zinyak using an arsenal of superpowers and strange weapons in the weird, wildest open world game ever. The epic conclusion to the game that changed all the rules. Very positive. 27,000 reviews, of which 92% is good. Yeah, I own this, and it is tons of fun. Though it's just a sandbox. Largely, it's a sandbox superhero simulator, but it's in the similar to the vein of Crackdown, I'd actually say. It's although a bit more zanier, in fact, and a bit off the cuff. It is quite ludicrous, and it's downright silly. None of those are actually gameplay. It's funny, although they're all bullshots. Yeah, that's quite interesting, but it and then it's on largely on sale at the moment, $20. Though it does have a shit ton of DLC. Well, combined even together, which it's not on sale at the moment. Amazing, though. Ultimate franchise. See, that one includes the previous games as well, and I think it includes all the Saints Row 3 DLC as well. Though, yeah, that is cheaper than just Saints Row 4's DLC. Yeah, the Ultimate Franchise Pack are all Gameless Entry Edition. Yeah, Gameless Entry, probably if you're just looking for Saints Row 4 with all DLC, or if you want everything, yeah, that actually looks pretty good right at the moment since during the sale. Otherwise, it's usually 20 just for the base game. Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's definitely a fun game, and it's ludicrously hilarious. There's not much else I could say about it. That's really very, really, yeah, spoilers. Potentially, I'd say maybe get this one over Gather the Hell. Gather the Hell is a more compressed experience, and I think it actually might be cheaper even so, but it is a smaller game, and I think this one actually is better than 3. 3 lent itself more towards the lewd and like sexuality, sexual nature, and stuff like that. While this one's just pure geek and gamer culture and sci-fi spoofing, which is so much better. But until you get to the what's it now, Dominatrix DLC, then it goes back to being about sexuality again, which is not really something that's enjoyable. But however, the base game is quite funny, so I definitely recommend it. Neverwinter. Neverwinter is a free action MMORPG based on the acclaimed Dungeons and Dragons fantasy role-playing game. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantasy world of Neverwinter. Now, I have not played this, and it is, even though it is free to play, I have played a lot of Neverwinter Nights, the previous oh no, not an MMORPG, but RPG based on the Dungeons and Dragons Faerun setting, of which Neverwinter is a part of, or appears in. This, however, I don't know if it's just a WoW clone. If it's any different to WoW. All of those are bullshots. There's no physical gameplay screenshots there. That's all in game, I guess, but it's using in-game assets, but it's not true gameplay. Where is? Let's actually take a look at the video. Come on, show me some actual gameplay, please. Whether or not it's different to WoW or not. Hello? Hello? Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, there we go, finally. Yeah, that's not gameplay. Just in game. It's pre-rendered garbage. Yada yada yada. We're gonna actually get some gameplay here. Come on. Alright, while it buffers some more. Just gonna take a look. Very positive. 82% of 12,000 reviews. Even though it is free to play, and oh, okay, those starter packs and stuff are really expensive. $200. Heroes of the North. What does that even encompass? Yeah, no. Even Steam Starter Kit. You literally don't tell me what's in there. Yeah, and there's stuff like modules and expansions. Not recommended. Ooh, it looks like there's a lot of negative reviews that boil to the top. Actually, from for a while, the others are just alcoholics. Can't stop. Okay, so most epic pay-to-win game. Oh, shame collection games. I don't like subscriptions. I would pay to engage buys and experience. Okay, so there's a greater emphasis on way too. And judging by these visuals, it might just be it's just a WoW clone. I don't think I'll be playing this at all. Let's see. Fortune's Tavern, Fantasy Tavern Simulator. Okay. Every good RPG has its tavern, where heroes meet, rumors are told, quests are undertaken, and beer is supplied by the gallon. But could you manage such a place? Jump into the role of the fantasy world tavern keeper and renovate your infamous Fortune's Tavern amongst the backdrop of a world on the brink of war. Mostly positive, and it's only got 48 reviews, 75%. It's really new. Okay, it's got a pixel art style. Very much looks like RPG Maker in a way. It could be a custom palette for RPG Maker. Tutorial message. More visuals. What the hell? Why are you doubling up your screenshots? That's stupid. If you have one set of screenshots, then why are they doubled? Is this a Steam problem or is this a developer problem? Fuck's sakes. Well, I mean, this is an interesting concept you don't see very often. Managing something that's within the RPG world, not physically controlling the RPG characters. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be like Towns that gets abandoned later on. Although it looks like there's actually support in its early days just yet, but that has an interesting concept behind it. Okay, some negative reviews about the top, but it's mostly positive. Okay, something about pets, alright, there's pets in the game. Okay, it's not very stable and crashes apparently. Okay, they're fixing them, but it's still... Okay, this... Okay, it's clunky and needs work. Well, even though it is not actually early access, it it still needs improvements. The RPG actual adventure, even though you control it's a tavern really. Yeah, that's the pets battle arena. I'm not quite sure what to do with this one. You got these other local taverns for renown. I don't know, it doesn't visually look very appealing. Maybe not. I'll have to see if anyone else has talked about it or if it gets any better. But otherwise, I don't really think so, even for $9. Okay, Planetside 2 is a revolutionary massive-scale first-person shooter where soldiers battle as one in strategic targeted missions against enemy empires in a roll-out planetary war. The game challenges the skill and grit of most seasoned soldiers through intense infantry, air, and ground vehicle gameplay. Yeah, I've heard about this. I have yet to actually try it, and it is a free-to-play. Though, I don't know. Okay, there's a good number of DLC or starter packs. They range up to $5 up to $100. Jeez. Yeah, all nanite weapon systems. Okay, 3 month, 50% XP boost. Yeesh. I don't know if it's really pay to win at all. No, or a few negative reviews are brought to the top. It does have a very positive tag of 86% over 22,000 reviews. And it does feature some of the most gigantic battles I've seen. Really, that's quite amazing when you can get so many players in. Supposed gameplay, because it's a first-person shooter. It's mostly look like bull shots, though it does have some very interesting locales. So it's mostly desert-based, so whatever, and grasslands. I don't know if there's any real like jungle map or anything. There are some Arctic ones which are very similar to deserts. Okay, there is swamplands as well. Could be very interesting fighting. And then there's a day-night cycle to it, because it's a one gigantic map where you play the giant battles against each other. Two factions, I believe. Or, no, multiple factions, from what I've heard. Negative reviews. What did they say? Pros, massive potential. Cons, pay to win elements. Oh, implants, yeah. Okay, can get client's performance. Yeah, here that's another issue because it's a gigantic map. You can have some horrible slowdown and stuff within and lag within the game. Server performance, it's terrible. Even though I mean it's free to play though, so I probably might give it a try sometime. Alright, acting a bit laggy. Yeah, I'll probably give it a try and then come back to it if it's any good. Life is Feudal, your own. Realistic medieval multiplayer sandbox with terraforming, free preset and modular building construction, rich crafting, smelting, forging, farming, animal breeding, etc. Survival, no target physics-based combat, original combat formation system, and numerous other features. Yeah, you failed to describe your actual game to me other than realistic medieval multiplayer sandbox. Is it third person, first person? From what I've seen, it is both. You can select third first. It come on, yeah, it's potentially both shots. Yeah, there we go. It's actual in game. It's a fairly large map to play on. It's mostly a third person, though I think like I said, you can go first, I believe. Early access too, some other thing. It's very buggy from the videos I've watched. It is very buggy, and although it is possible to build entire like villages and castles and etc. It takes a hell of a lot of resources, and unless you're working together with a group of people on a server, it's going to take you forever individually to do anything of any significance. It is $40 for a normal version, and then there's multiple multi packs after that, which I don't see a purpose of. You can have guilds and torches, which is getting updates, but well, it's early access, it should get those. Couple of negative reviews, so it's mostly positive. Yeah, 72% of 2,800 reviews, roughly. I'm not sure. Early access. It shows a lot of promise, but from what I've seen, there's huge bugs in it, and unless they curb the requirements to build things, I don't think I'm going to invest in this. It doesn't look like it will be good at the moment. Satellite Reign. Okay, Satellite Reign is a real-time class-based strategy game. You control a team of 4 agents, each with distinct and unique abilities, collectively battling for control over a simulated living cyberpunk city. Another early access game. Though it has very positive 92% reviews, there is only 130 reviews. It's very, very early. Oh no, it's not actually very early. It's about 2, 3, no, yeah, 4 months old, and not many people are looking into this one. It appears. If that's actual gameplay, it's an isometric style. I'm going to assume no. Well, there's no HUD, so unless there actually is, it's a HUDless game. It's an isometric style, trying to emulate the early Syndicate games, possibly. Plus scale. It is usually $30, so it's on sale at the moment for until the 13th of March, 2015. Let's see. All positive reviews, because, well, there isn't that many. And I have to assume it's isometric, squad-based strategy game in the vein of early Syndicate. I don't know. Until I hear more about this and until it comes out of early access, I'm not sure this is any good. Path of Exile. You are an exile, struggling to survive in the dark continent of Rayclast. As you fight to earn more power, that will allow you to extract your revenge against those who wronged you. Created by hardcore gamers, Path of Exile is an online action RPG set in a dark fantasy world. This I have played, and it is a free-to-play Diablo-esque isometric RPG game. It, I would say, is actually rather good. It has a very dark and grim fantasy look to it, realistic visuals and not a cartoony cel-shaded style. It it's really for those who like the original Diablo, I would say, and possibly Diablo 2 as well. Has there are multiple different classes that are fairly interesting, though they tend to be somewhat the same starting off. All classes as well can kind of learn spells, and spells work more like items than actual um, spells and abilities are more closer to being actual items than just skill tree things. Because the skill tree, though massive, is mostly just filled with passive stuff. These, when they load, yeah, that is pretty much just in game. That one's a full shot because there's no HUD I can see. There's no one there. Why is this loading so slowly? Yeah, Forsaken Masters. It goes through a good couple of patches or expansions. I mean, it mostly has very positive reviews, 94% over the 20,000 reviews, which is pretty good. And as well, it is free to play. Anything negative? Nope, nothing negative. Well to the top. Yeah, I would actually wholeheartedly recommend it. Let's see what's next. Navy Field 2: Conqueror of the Ocean. Navy Field 2 is a follow-up to Navy Field, game I've never heard of. The original pioneer of massively multiplayer strategic online naval warfare. Well, guess why I haven't heard of it. Cooper- cooper- Cooperate with your team to maximize the potential of your vessel and to face off in large-scale naval battles. Challenge yourself to become the ultimate captain. Mixed was 43%, over 264 reviews. March. It had only recently come out. Well, that's in game. It looks like you can have multiple different ships. It is a free-to-play game. All right. Naval combat from it's a nice metric style of game. Oh, that's a bullshot. Another one, bullshot. That's potentially in game with the rest. It seems it's a loading screen actually. Yep. Ships in the dock. Let's look, loading screen for a battle. It looks like it's potentially a zoomed out version of what they're thinking of doing with World of Warships, I believe, is what the new one's going to be coming out for them. And also, War Thunder's apparently bringing out a Navy section eventually after they I've heard, apparently. I'm not entirely sure this looks that good. I mean, it's got a good visual representation of World War II naval ships, or possibly even, no, it's mostly World War II. Oh, they sail around, they fire arcs, possibly. I don't know. Don't know if that would actually be all that good, because I mean it hasn't got good reviews at the moment. And I'm not sure if I wouldn't really enjoy a naval game. Not many reviews have come to negative reviews have come to the top. It has pay to win elements. Fire extra load time credits, 2% extra points, real money. Okay. Morale boost. Okay. Pay to win elements, possibly. Although it depends what people call that, really. Okay, the first one had a 2D look to its sprites and such. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd even play this even if it is free to play. Game of Thrones, a Telltale game series. Game of Thrones, a Telltale game series, is a six-part episodic game series set in the world of HBO's groundbreaking TV show. This new story tells of House Forrester, a noble family in the north of Westeros, loyal to the Starks of Winterfell. Very positive 2,000 so reviews, with them being 88%. I am not familiar with the Game of Thrones TV series at all. I still have yet to watch it, and I need to try and make a plan to do so. But I do have heard of a lot of the Telltale games, and they are quite praised for being really amazing modern point-and-click adventures. From what I've seen, yeah, the game has the same kind of style of cartoony slash comic book look to it, like Walking Dead, although less so possibly. Slightly more realistic, but which is an odd choice of why they went for non-high realistic, considering it's based more so on the TV show than just a book IP. Yeah, and also that it is at the moment you buy it and it comes out episodic in nature, where they had a problem with the was it now Wolf Among Us episodic nature, where some of the episodes just weren't as good as the others. Yeah, episode 2 is apparently coming very soon if it's not already out, which is interesting. But okay, let's see what negative reviews involved at the top. Okay, this is a very long one. Cons requires knowledge of first TV show. Well, it might not really essentially, but it holds more bearing for you if you do know the TV, if you are familiar with the TV. Yeah, and then of course the obvious joke review. Although, yeah, like I said, they did get some of the actual actors to voice over the characters, which is pretty good too. I don't know. I can't really recommend it because I'm not that familiar with it, and there are lots of good Telltale games out there. Walking Dead being one of the most compelling. Um, $30. I'm not too sure. Maybe on a sale. Planetary Annihilation. Colonize star systems, smash entire worlds, and crush your foes in epic battles with multiple players and thousands of units. Don't just win, annihilate. Mostly positive, 10,000 reviews, 70%. Yeah, I own Planetary Annihilation, bought it on a Steam sale, of which it currently is on. It's usually $30. It's not really big in the way of single player. It really is a multiplayer game. Yeah, the curved play areas is rather interesting concept too, where also you can jump to different planets, etc. in a star system. That's another unique feature, though it's easy to get into, tough to master, I would say. Especially when you get stuff like a planet destroying lasers and stuff, and also ability to push asteroids around. Yeah, the single player is non-existent really to speak of. It's mostly just a battle to battle skirmish mode where you fight over a galaxy, basically jumping between different points and fighting different enemies, who all pretty much build the same or similar vehicles in similar fashions. I mean, if you're a big fan of Total Annihilation and possibly Supreme Commander, and you know a couple of people who play Planetary Annihilation or want to play it, I would say that's probably the best best thing to do. No, that's probably the best reasoning to get this. I don't know really, what does the deluxe version give you? You get a soundtrack, art book, and 3 bonus commanders. Yeah, I think I've got that, but it's not really worth it, essentially. I mean, the soundtrack's quite nice too. Yeah, if you like the orchestral and military marching themes, kind of in a way. Number of negative reviews come to the top. Something great about it, something about to shoot. Planets, flat, lifeless. Yeah, there's not really a lot to the planets. You don't really get different heights with them. They're all just a ball with specific decals on it in a way, or doodads that prevent you from building in certain areas. And the water is not really that much different, other than just being a different surface to build on that requires a different tree. Aircraft are overpowered. The AI almost always uses just solely aircraft. I've seen them very rarely use ground vehicles in conjunction with air, but they almost totally use air. Yeah, the Galactic War single player is not worth it really. Cards upgrade, yeah, you get cards when beating certain enemies or exploring empty star systems. Yeah, it was a Kickstarter game as well. It's boring. It's non-existent. Yeah, the game runs kind of laggy. On maps that have a lot of planets, it can almost crash your computer. It is very badly optimized as well. Also, when you try to run a single player environment, it it basically runs all of these different things in the background, and it causes your computer to become quite laggy. It's almost like it runs a closed off multiplayer server for the game, even to just play single player. It's the most ludicrous kind of concept I can think of. Pre-release, yeah, well, that's not exactly, you could say, trusted, but all the factions are the same, yeah, just different colors. Yeah, I can't really recommend it unless you're buying it to play with a friend, or if it's on sale like it currently is. $30 isn't really worth it, but if you're going to go for $10, then yeah, I'd say, but otherwise I'm not too sure about it. And that concludes the Steam sale for today, or Steam queue for today, excuse me. Check back tomorrow or possibly another day. I kind of have been laxing a bit lately with these, and all of my other things, but I might have a new series coming out soon. and I'll try and keep updating these as I can. Okay, bye.